Hello, welcome back to Around Every Corner, part of the Enchanted Self. And today we are really going to focus on the Enchanted Self. And most likely that means you. Why do I say that? Because most people definitely have an enchanted self. Particularly today, I want to talk a little bit about women and our enchanted selves. I found it very interesting that Hilary Clinton and her daughter, Chelsea, are doing a lot of work around a concept that they call the Gutsy woman. I like that concept, and I've used the word gutsy myself at times. We are really gutsy. When we have to be, most of us climb on our horse and get started and can go through the wild woods to whatever has to be tackled, and we tackle it. But on the other hand, there's a lot of time in women's lives where they often fall off the horse and they feel miserable. This can be the day after someone has broken up with a woman. It can be the loss of a job. It can be the way a parent has treated a child, even a grown-up woman, when she visits. It can happen at any age, at any stage of life. We are vulnerable to feel lost, to feel put down, to feel diminished. Well, the gutsy part of us, and as I say, the enchanted self part of us, is always available to come back. We just need to know how to bring her back. And that's where the formula that goes with the enchanted self comes in handy. The formula is simple. I ask you to look back into your past, whether it's yesterday or 40 years ago, for your potential, for your talents, for your strengths. I'm not asking you to look back for the bad moment. Of course, that may be important, and there may be parts of yourself that need professional help. But right now, we're looking back at the beautiful parts of yourself that have always been there. There may be a desire in childhood that you had to make little doll clothes. There may be a desire you have to play tennis or to go to the moon. There are millions and millions of things, and of course, they're individual for the particular woman. Well, the enchanted self helps you to find these spaces within yourself, find the potential, and make it come alive again, even if it's too late to be a ballerina. It's not too late to take dancing class, or maybe it's just not too late to take an exercise class where you still move your hands like a ballerina. There's always space for solutions. And when we particularly grab onto our strengths and our talents and we combine them with some desire that was once there or still there, what we call the potential, then we're really going to make waves. We can do it. Gutsy women get used to looking into themselves and bringing back to life the parts of themselves that show talent, that show some strengths, and maybe our yearnings for the potential within themselves. And now is your time, more than any other time in the world, which is one of the things that Chelsea and her mother really, really emphasize. Do you realize that there are 27 women on the earth right now, and I've probably missed some, and this list comes from the Clintons, but still, I'll go with the number 27 now, for now, of women who are prime ministers or presidents of their countries. So it's happening around the world. Women are stepping up to the plate in government, in medicine, in all sorts of places. Of course, they're stepping up. But my concern today is how to encourage you to step up. So I have a couple of personal little stories. One is really about my mother. My mother was told when she was a senior in high school to start to think ahead to only two things. Did she want to be a saleswoman at one of the department stores in Boston, like Feline's, or did she want to be a secretary? These were her two choices and only two choices for the rest of her young life. Well, believe it or not, she didn't want to be either one. She did take the 6 months of secretarial training because there was no way she wanted to be a saleswoman. Interestingly enough, it was my father that helped her over the great divide to reach her potential. And here's how it happened. He gave her an IQ test. He was getting his doctorate in measurements in psychology at Yale when they were married. Amazingly, to my mother, he told her that her IQ was well above average. She was really smart. She could hardly believe it. Her brothers, when she was a teenager, had told her, "You're beautiful, but dumb. Go and make the brownies we like." And it was her uncle that was going to pay for the secretarial school or help her become a sales lady. It was my father who always saw potential in everyone, male or female, who told her, "You're smart, and why don't you take a few college courses and see how you like it?" Long story short, my mother not only graduated college, but got her master's in teaching and was so beloved by her students. Teaching, of course, she taught second and third grades for 30 years or maybe more. So beloved by her students that even 20 years after being in her class, they would run up and throw their arms around. "Mrs. Becker, you made my life so good and happy. I'm so glad you were my teacher." That's just one story. Another very brief story, and then we're going to stop for today, is about a client I had whose family discouraged her from going away with friends just because probably they didn't want to lose someone making their dinner and stuff. But she finally went with a couple of girlfriends from high school. They went up the coast in Maine. They had a great few days. And she told me how just not listening to people who loved her and still love her, but not listening when they were not in her best interests, gave her a chance to fly, to use her own wings and see a bit more who she was. So the point of all this is that around every corner lurks your potential, your strengths, your interests, and you can become a gutsy woman anytime you start to work on it. And you can pull from your enchanted self, that place within you that's always holding your talents, your strengths, and your untapped potential. So good luck in going around the corner. I know you can do it. Goodbye for now.
Dr. Barbara Becker Holstein is a visionary positive psychologist who has married positive psychology concepts with modern-day technology to reach people in ways never attempted before. She is fiercely dedicated to helping people of all ages and all stages of life find purpose and pleasure in being alive and being themselves. She's a best-selling author, award-winning selfie filmmaker, Zoom drama creator, positive psychologist, and podcaster who helps us overcome anxiety and alienation through multiple media channels. More information, including information on her films for young people that have won over 100 awards, websites dedicated specifically to positive psychology and the truth for girls, award-winning books for both young people and adults, a store that offers free gifts, books, films, and a number of free downloads, Zoom films, video podcasts, TED-style talks, a library of articles spanning over 15 years, stage plays, audio podcasts, and even a humorous video series entitled Old Time Radio are available at her website at enchantedself.com.